Hi everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited. We wanted to bring in the beautiful sun and the offerings for today. Thank you, Spirit, for bathing us in this beautiful spiritual light. And we're wanting to just do a really quick video and offering on what you really want to get excited about. Part of your daily self-care is not only to clear out what was, but it's also to empower you, inspire you, and ignite you on what kind of earth and what kind of reality, what kind of timeline you want to create. And oftentimes in all of those clearings and cleansings, you're having to come back to that center point as you reflect and as you renew yourself in new vibrational ways, new vibrational encouragement, new vibrational inspirations for you, and then having to kind of redesign yourself and rewrite yourself. And when that often occurs in that catalytic experience of the beautiful infinity that we always find ourselves on, we're calling in the new songs and the new vibrational notes and the new vibrational light language that is the harmonic spirit and source for all creational levels and all creational elegance of spirit. Every creational level has a unique harmonic song and spirit, and obviously everything that you're, as the soul of all that you are, as you're calling the soul to live through you, and as you're calling all of the aspects and the fragments that you're calling in to integrate and heal and call in as your oneness, you're allowing those new gifts to be offered as well. I keep singing them, the shadows of the butterflies. I'm so grateful. And in that, those triggers that, just as you're ready to step out in these new vibrational energy platforms, you're also going to be activating those parts of all of those circles and all of those energies that have also been around you, those that you've co-created with, those families and friends and circles and work people that will also be activated by those light challenges, those light experiences and shifts. Because if you think about it in the quantum physics manner, or anything that is an element of activity, there's a vibration, and this vibration has been vibrating at its constancy. If there's a change in the activity, then this vibration will sense it, and it will start to sort itself out as to say what's going on, there's change here, and it will start to have to review the friction, the niggles and the triggers that it's been experiencing, to sort out why is that change occurring in the environment or in the circle of thread, because everything is a quantum thread. And why we've always said that releasing yourself from those quantum stories that are calling you back into karmic stories and cycles that aren't feeling comfortable anymore, that are not nourishing you, not valuing you, and not respecting you in the ways that you've now grown to, then you can step out of those circles and allow that change to occur for those that to then awaken. So those are just the natural parts of what occurs when the elements of the circle and the environment have been activated and changed. Catalytic change can occur in many different ways. When an element has been taken out of the catalytic environment, or catalytic energies are being added to it. And it's up to each person to be a part of that catalytic environment play, that soup, if you will, of quantum energy. If there is a constant bowl and a soup of negative energies, then those negative energies will just continue to create negative energies. And so that's why it's important to always, continue within your core vibration and constantly look at your environment and what's going on in your environment, feel into it, and how you can inspire the change that you want to see, but also never ever stop for a moment on what you're willing to press out and explore and express and investigate for you, because you are a constant evolutionary energy of dynamic song of spirit. You want to always be investigating who you are. You want to always be exploring who you are. You want to always be healing anything that comes forward to be healed in the oneness of who you are. Because remember, all things in the universe are energy, and anything that you've come as this element, if you will, anything that is going on within you as this element in this vessel of light will be triggering and creating the outer reality for you to reflect and look at on what's going within you. Then call in that integrative light, the integrative oneness of spirit, the natural laws of evolution, and why you never really have to do anything outside of just reflecting and viewing and accepting and moving in your highest excitement to ever kind of alchemize all things that are before you. That's all that's required, that you honor all things before you, because there's stories within you that are asking you to reflect upon it, to value and honor and respect all things before you, because it's asking you to reflect upon it and refine within it, as you so choose. Not to have the same choices of other stories around you, but for you to choose through the self-direction and the song that you are a source, because your song is unique note to you. And as you're working through in your daily song, the stories that you've created through your subjugatory stories, how have you allowed yourself to expand, explore, and express yourself and investigate yourself in a new vibrational tone? So anything that's holding you back, that you feel is holding you back, because they're all illusions, from those vibrational stories that we've taken on as ourself and as our truth of who we are, but are really not. They're just vibrational stories that we've been stuck within, if you will, through patterns and habits, because the if you're not living from spirit, that ego cannot take you into places of the unknown. It simply just renews itself in the same cycle. The same with your cells in your body. So we have to be that renewal of self, that rewriting of self, and say, no, this is who I am today, and I'm going to take self-direction on my path, on my experience of who I am. This is how I choose to express myself. This is how I choose to see my reality. And that is from the excitement of who we are within the divine song. Is as we're clearing and releasing what no longer serves in the space of what was taking up vibrational space and worry and hesitancy or lack of self or lack of purpose, anything that was holding us in a level of stagnation. We then get to stand in the new power of leadership of who we are. And we then get to carve out these new templates, if you will. And these templates of inspiration also allow others and all other parties to be inspired to look and seek, not to follow your path, but to look and seek what is within themselves in their own unique truth and their unique story and their unique honor of who they are. And so that's really important for everyone to keep in mind. It's not to follow any other, just as Jesus has always said. It wasn't about creating any sort of doctrine. It was just about to renew the understanding of who we are in spirit and to live firmly and confidently and purely within it. That we are the essence of source. That we are the element of source. We are the elements of the universe. And at any moment, we're being offered with reflections of who we are within to call in the acceptance of it and the honor of it and the oneness of it, and to continue the mystical journey of who we are, spirit evolving, the creative essence of spirit, the joy of spirit evolving. And that must require that we adventure, that we seek, that we create that greater dynamic upon the earth and with other peoples and with other tribes, because our energy is needed to touch those places and experiences. And why, in my experience, any way that is held back in restriction of the spirit damages it in any way, whether it's done with intention, whether it's done with clearing on that one. That was a truth that needed to be cleared. Anything that is done in control of holding back on a spirit that is meant to soar and that is meant to fly causes damage, not only for that person and its multidimensional bodies and encasing, but for all of those that being was supposed to connect with and fly and soar. So if that spirit is not meant to soar, it affects all things that were meant to touch it, that were meant for it to touch the grids, for it to touch nature, to sing. So someone like myself, I can talk and I can connect with the nature and the animals, and my involvement with nature and my involvement with the earth is very needed, and it's very powerful because they've shown me it's a connection for many, many things to open up. And so those are my excitements to continue in that way, and how everyone is honored in that free will of expression and exploration and experience. Because in any way that anyone would want to control someone, the equal control that they will receive in those experiences will be equal, because it's a natural law of the universe. Anything that is sent out in an emanation of intention, no matter what it is, will be returned. But that restriction also inhibits any movement within that experience in and of itself. So it actually stagnates and de-evolves the circle, the people, and the energies. And why it's really important that we understand the consciousness of our choice, because it does affect the energies that I move with affect my children. So anything that is done in the thwarting of that affects all children. It affects the earth, it affects the ancestors, it affects all the lineage and timelines. So we really must begin to think about how honoring we are of one another, and how empowering and inspiring and cheering and uplifting everyone is so important, because you have no idea that all of the children before us masters, the ascension, evolutionaries, and we're meant to be in support and lifting them up in the Most High. Just as I'm lifting you up right now in your Most High. So what is it that you'd like to see for your 5D? What is it like to see for your body? What is it that you would like to see for the earth and for the nature and the wildlife? They showed me the other day in a beautiful vision. Thank you, my ancestors, as the birds are always with me. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I love you so much. I love everybody so much. I'm so happy about the richness and the beauty of the song that is Spirit. Every evolutionary cycle, there's new notes and new harmonics. And as you're clearing out your vessel that is an instrument, just like a clarinet, just like any tune and any musical instrument that makes beautiful sounds and songs, you've got to refine it. You've got to clear out the dust and the density. And you've got to choose what note and what version of vibrational harmony do I want to play today. Source will then offer those codes to you. And in that refinement of you, you're continuing to purge and clarify and cleanse and all the things that we do to keep our instruments beautiful and sacred. And there's ever deeper and wider and richer mysticisms of all energy levels and all template levels that you now are harmonizing to step up into. And in that, it offers us a new vibratory experience of creation, not just where you are in your body, yes, too, but also all that is. Because you're refining your instrument to receive those songs, to receive those codes, to receive that note. And thus then affects all else in your environment, affects the trees, the wildlife, the birds, everything. And so they showed me a vision the other day that there is this level that we were just stepping up to, this level of creational experience in which all of these beautiful animals were waiting to come down to be born into the new earth. And so there were so many animals that we knew and that we didn't know, some that are coming back to life. And so we're really, really excited about these brand new experiences. And the video is just catching. There's so much energy right now. I'm so excited. So thank you. So there's many new things that are coming to earth because of our raising of our own consciousness. So it's really important that we release everything to do with control, greed, fear, limitation, anything that's restrictive. Anything that comes up that is restrictive, routines, habits, patterns, look at them with the authentic, genuine truth and see what you can clear and cleanse away. And then open up within your heart and see how beautiful and fluid and movement of the malleability of who you are as spirit, and call in that new portal of exploration, of discovery, of beautiful loving essence, and releasing everything that has anything to do with control, manipulation of environment, manipulation of any outcome. Release it all, release it all, release it all. That center of being and the vessel of who you are as spirit, just allowing that song to live through you, and all will be brought to you. That is the joy of the manifestation. That is the joy of God. That is the story of God. And again, thus, therefore, you become the instrument that plays the evolutionary notes and the evolutionary songs, if you will, of who you are and what you want to see and experience. So many of us, because we are guided speakers, we do have access to various levels of animal life, wildlife, grids, the beauty that is source in all things, and why singing and being in that essence awakens the grids and the codes that are meant to be awakened. Because remember, all is harmonic light language and songs, which are not what we've meant and known as 3D experience. As reading from a textbook, this is who we are as a species, this is how we get from place A to place B, and this is all our sciences included it. No, everything is within the omnipresent, that it's up to us to awaken and be the instrument to have it live through us. So it's really beautiful. So we are the richness and we are the song. So to allow yourself to accept in all moments what is moving through you. So if it creates a niggle, if it creates a fear, if it creates a trigger, then face it and get to the wound of that fear. And allow yourself to love on all moments and forgive. And so that when you choose, are you choosing to speak from love, and you speak from forgiveness and speak from compassion, to know where everything before you, how it's being reactive to your light and to your element of vibration, if you will. Because remember, there's an infinite number of levels that we're moving through and shifting through. So not everybody is going to be at the same consciousness vibrational level. And so some may see your light as a trigger or a challenge, and therefore they react from those ego experiences that trigger them to look within and find out why they feel that way. And also to others that will be excited and say, hey, what are you doing up there? I want to come too. And we say up there just means that as you perceive different levels of consciousness, that's what we mean. It doesn't mean quantitative or qualitative, you know that. And so what do you want to create for your experience? And know that how we communicate with one another, how we share information from one another will be received in various ways. So honor that, accept it. And don't feel the need to get engaged and to justify your path. Don't feel the need to justify your being of light. You know, just allow everyone's responses to be what they are, and just stand in your peace. And that takes practice and mastery, as we all know, because we're all coming out of those woundings of how we've all been wounded by the control of others, and we've all been wounded by the many timelines where that has occurred on many different vibrational levels. And so we're all learning how to just stand, detach from it emotionally, and not to take on any projections and any responses from others, because you shine in your light and you're doing things quite differently, because that's okay, it's meant to be that way. And also too, as you're living in your highest vibrational light and you're moving in your own unique way, especially for those that are mothers of the house and caretakers of the house, how can you infuse new experiences into your home to begin to step out into these 5D platforms? So many mothers are looking for ways to infuse evolution into their homes, to infuse health and wellness into their home, to infuse balance and harmony into their home. And little tiny steps each day, physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically or spiritually, all of those little additions of those elements of vibration help the foundation so that all are getting the access to light. And then also too, it's not your responsible role to play the light giver of all. It's up to you to follow in your highest and in your truth, and then allow everyone else to follow in their path. And that's quite important because we don't have to, we're learning how to get along at various vibrational threads, perspectives, to see it and honor it within one another so that we don't have to play games of controlling others to see one another's point of view, but to allow all points of view of the vibration to be the beauty and the song that the notes are needed, right? All the different notes are required. We don't want a reality of just one note. We must have notes of all realities because those notes of all realities trigger the various wounds that need to be triggered. And it's a very blessed experience. We don't have to think about it that way. That's why there's so many of you that are needed to come forward and shine your light, because your light is unique to help trigger someone that needs your vibrational access. And why each of us come with a unique soul and spiritual song that is unique to each and every one of us and meant to be expressed in the unique way it's meant to. Because if it's not, then those notes are not able to access or activate what it needs next on its evolutionary spiral of light, but also activate those that absolutely need it. And that's why each and every one of us that do speak light language, we speak it in a unique way, because that's also needed as well. So think about the vibrational timeline you want to create and write for yourself. What does it have you feeling and sensing and doing? What does your soul tribe look like? Do you have evening communions? Do you have beautiful discussions around the fire? Do you have beautiful discussions over breaking bread? What does your reality look like? Can you make the resources that you need to make by sharing your gifts and honoring your gifts in a sacred way? Do you see your community going out into other communities and sharing and expanding light? Are you preparing for first contact, and how are you doing so? Are you creating loving, open conversations of health and wellness in your family, and releasing and acknowledging when limitations and restrictions and rigidity comes up? Because we're meant to be flowing as the unique aspects and the vessels of light of all the tools that we are as source, so that we can be the leaders and the managers of new worlds where all are valued, all are just in their own expression and their own experience through which they want to create in love and in light, and allowing everyone their path that is meant to be liberated and free in every way, without being hindered, without being subjugated or periled in suppression of what another wants for another, because that isn't liberation at all. That's fear, control, and greed. And so anytime that you see those coming up in even the most minor ways, review it and say, why do I keep receiving these experiences in my timeline? And then just clear it out. I am speaking the truth of releasing subjugation and suppression. I am a sovereign being and I'm creating my reality. And I'm meant to, because as I press out, others will begin to be activated and pressed out from the vibrations that I'm co-creating and reaching. And so always reach up. Reach up for your new comes. Reach up for your new comes. Divine Source, I'm calling forward my soul and my higher self. Thank you, Spirit. Today I choose to live in the vibrational alignment of my highest and my best, to express myself purely, to express myself with freedom and liberation, to be a leader of light that I am, to always stand in peace when people react untoward or unkind, and just allow them their space and their own reactivity, but not to engage with it or take it on if it's negative or abusive. And I send everyone love and light for the freedom and the liberation of all, for the children need it, the nature needs it, the wildlife needs it, and I stand purely in my heart. For may the love and the light of all be liberated and created in freedom and adventure and discovery and rediscovery. And I see my fifth dimensional planet in beauty and grace and love and color and exuberance, where we're all exploring new insects and new animals and new wildlife and new richness of flora and fauna. And we're using those in our healing modalities. And we get to reach up and we get to speak with our celestial beings that we're now able to see because the veils are so very thin. And we empower, inspire, and encourage one another to be our best and to live in freedom and liberation and to forgive quickly and laugh more. And it's in that loving and joyful play that we allow the Sun and the Holy Mother. Thank you, Mother, Father, and all the nature. I love you, nature animals. And we love you so much. And we're honoring you in the rainbow light of all that is. We love you in the rainbow light of all that is. Thank you, dear Spirit. And may all of you be touched with the love and the light of who you are. Take time throughout your day to be in silence and enjoy and how you choose to create your 5D earth. We love you so much. Namaste. Well, for those of you that like to donate, our links are below, and we have a full moon class tomorrow, so we'd love for you to join us. Namaste. Rainbow Techno. Bye.